Today, we have Colin Cummings and Rick Bose with Consolidated Communications.
All right. Well, with that said, I'll just do a quick introduction. My name is Colin Cummings, Consolidated Communications. I'm your senior channel manager here supporting Claris and TDM. Been in the industry for about 18 years on the direct and channel side for the last about 12 years. And then I will let Rick introduce himself.
Good morning here. Anyways, I'm out in California. I am Rick Foes. I'm Colin's channel sales engineer. So I support him as well as a few other channel managers across the country. I've been with this organization in this role for about 7 years, but my entire career has been spent in the technology sector. So I'm here to help Colin answer any questions and kind of discuss our solutions a little bit with you guys today. And feel free to reach out. I think we're going to have you guys type questions in and we're going to answer them later. So look forward to talking to you guys about what we present today. Thanks.
Thanks, Rick. All right, we'll just dive right in here. So Consolidated Communications, we are positioned to win. We are really excited about 2025 and have a lot of great stuff coming up here that we're happy to share with you guys. So for 2025, we have four main areas of focus. We have our on-net and near-net building footprint, I should say, data center connectivity, MDU fiber internet, and unique routes. Really excited to dive in with the on-net and near-net footprint. We have 240,000 on-net and near-net buildings across 65,000 plus fiber route miles. And we're in 108 data centers currently, with 104 being near-net buildable. We also are excited to launch our MDU product, MDU MTU. It's a multi-dwelling unit to the channel that just recently was launched about 6 months ago, where you can now sell the consolidated MTU product through the channel. We'll touch on that a little later. But we've got about 40,000 on-net and near-net MDUs that we could potentially target across the United States. So super excited about that. We also have some unique routes that we're identifying. We have some unique routes in Texas. We have a route going from Boston to Canada, and also some unique route from St. Louis to Chicago, and we'll be kind of reviewing that a little later as well. So this is our national footprint. Like Rick had mentioned, myself and he both are in Sacramento. So we are in the Sacramento region. We have a large, extensive network within the Sacramento region here in California. And then we're in 20 different states across the United States. So you can see a lot of network footprint in Texas, Northwest Florida. We're in the north, large footprint in Minneapolis up to Fargo. Scattered through Illinois, and then in the NNE area, we have an extensive footprint in Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. So if anyone has any opportunities in these regions, this is really where our core network is and our focus is. As you can see, 240,000 plus on-net buildings. We've invested $1.2 billion in recent and ongoing investment. So we're really investing in the network, expanding that, and 65,000 plus fiber route miles. So this slide just dives into our super regional network. So here we've highlighted 6 different regions. Like I mentioned, California, we're in the greater Sacramento region, New England, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, upper Midwest, anything from Des Moines up to Duluth. We've got network throughout that region. And then in Texas, we're in the Dallas metro region down to Houston, and have several fiber rings throughout those regions. Illinois, we've got a good network presence as well, and in Pennsylvania. So this just kind of dives into those super regional networks. So we want to empower our partners with on-net and near-net solutions. So through that, we have exclusive fiber access. So We have tools to quickly identify service opportunities with access to 240,000 on-net and near-net buildings. We have a comprehensive connectivity tool. I know you guys are using Charlie. We have an API integration with ConnectBase. So if anyone ever needs a ConnectBase login to view the entire consolidated network, I can set you up with that. But basically, you can access data your way. We have a user-friendly portal, cross-platform integration, and soon we'll have online quoting available to you as well. So you can just simplify your sales cycle by pulling quotes directly from the tool. And then we have scalable connectivity to and from data centers. So as I mentioned before, DC to DC is a big focus for us. So we can provide, Ethernet wavelengths, internet, and dark fiber between data center locations to help your customers get connectivity to different locations they need to get to. And we're optimizing performance with advanced load balancing and just really focusing on the DC to DC, large connectivity, and serving those customers. Lots of data centers going up in the north where we have a lot of footprint. AI is driving a lot of that. A lot of cooling available and power in some of those markets that we're in, like in Iowa and in Minnesota. So as AI continues to transform, there's a huge need for power and bandwidth, and we're here to help those customers and any other customer you need to find solutions for data center to data center connectivity. And with that, I'm going to hand the baton over to Rick, and Rick's going to go through some of the recent wins and some examples of what we're doing here at Consolidated.
Thanks, Colin. Yeah, so one of the things we wanted to do is kind of just talk about a couple of recent wins we've had. These are 2025 opportunities that we're able to solution for and successfully win business for our partners. And in keeping with those four focus areas that we have for 2025, you'll notice that these are all data center related opportunities, right? So that first one there, the 10 gig DIA and DDoS mitigation, that was for a client that needed those services in two data centers, one in St. Louis and the other in Minneapolis. So that St. Louis one was 900 Walnut, I think. So obviously that type of an opportunity is becoming more bread and butter, right? So one of the things we're seeing going into 2025 in particular is an increase in requests for quotes to data centers. And those quotes are usually large bandwidth, right? So 10 gigs kind of the baseline nowadays especially for any DIA circuits that we're quoting. The other ones are all a little bit larger than that. So if we look at the next one down there, 100 gig DIA and DDoS mitigation in Minneapolis and Sacramento. So again, one customer, one client, two data centers, obviously geographically diverse data centers where they were looking for someone that could provide 100 gig DIA circuits at both locations and provide some DDoS mitigation. We have recently launched our new DDoS mitigation platform, and we are able to provide those types of services, those high capacity services. Obviously, there's a little more engineering and conversation that goes into 100 gig versus say a 1 or 5 gig DIA with DDoS, but we can definitely service those requests. Again, 25 gig DIA with DDoS in New Hampshire, but this one also included data center services from Consolidated. So not only do we provide the network, but we can also do colo services within our facilities. And we have data centers located across the U.S. In Sacramento area, for example, where we're at, we have 2 CCI-owned data centers that we can colo in. Obviously, New Hampshire, Minneapolis, down in Texas, and so on. So if you have clients that are looking for colo services, maybe in kind of a secondary market or, as a backup to their primary data center locations, we can definitely help you guys identify solutions around those. Another thing we are seeing, and from my research and our internal subject matter experts, it's due to the push into AI, right? So we're seeing a lot of data centers being built and a lot of data center space requested in these secondary markets where we happen to be. So places like Des Moines, Iowa, right? So we're seeing data centers go up there. The data centers that we have in Sacramento, we have a couple, but back to that slide, we're in, what is it, 108 data centers nationally, right? So there's a lot of third-party data centers that we can provide services to, and we're seeing a lot of activity in these like tier 2 markets, right? So obviously Chicago, LA, San Jose, those are going to be tier 1, but these Sacramento, Des Moines, St. Louis, those markets, we're seeing a lot of activity, and this is where we're picking up some of this business. That last one there, 100 gig wave from Vermont to Boston and then up through New York. That's an example of a solution we can put together using consolidated network. So consolidated owned fiber along with type 2 or IRU fiber to get to the final destination, right? So we don't have specific CCI network in New York, but we're able to, complete the last mile of that large, the requirements of that large opportunity by providing that last mile via type 2 carrier and providing end-to-end KMZs and engineering, right? So we're going to take that ownership of that process and make sure that what we're presenting is going to fit the requirements of any particular opportunity that comes across your guys' desks. So those are some recent ones. Obviously, we still have a lot of business that we're doing outside of the high capacity DIA and wave stuff. But these are, this along with the MDU is kind of where we're focusing a lot of our attention going forward. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Colin. The next couple of slides are just kind of, highlighting some of the specific unique infrastructure that we have. So obviously, as Colin mentioned, Texas, we have a lot of network down there. It's a big state, so it's spread out, right? So we have what we call a DASH network, which is Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. This shows a part of that network, and this also shows some areas where we have network that may be unique, right? So we have, ILEC services in large amount of customer base in that Lufkin, Conroe, outside of Houston, and then we have data center services in Dallas, obviously, and then DWDM going through like San Antonio and Austin and Waco. So we've recently built some unique solutions around those assets to provide diverse DWDM services for other opportunities that have been brought to us recently. Go ahead and go to the next one. And again, so this particular route, made us international, right? So there's that, but more importantly, this was put together to provide unique routes that we can solution against into Montreal and then eventually into Quebec City. So you can see that orange route today exists. The dashed blue route is what we're working on putting in place now. And then, those may be Boston to Montreal, right? But if we look at how we're getting there, there's some other opportunities that we open up. One thing to keep in mind with a lot of these types of solutions, and you guys, I know, are fully aware of this, but places like St. Louis, we have fiber services going through there. We don't necessarily have regional networks where we're providing residential and small business services, but that doesn't mean we can't serve the data center, opportunities that might come up in those areas. So keep us in mind. Go ahead and go to the next one. And I wanted to touch again. I think I was going to take this slide, Colin. I'll go ahead and go with it. So our MDU offerings, I think some of you may have been exposed to this, previously, either at the event or on another webinar. But for 2025, we've released the MDU services offering, which Colin touched on. What's unique about this is we're incenting our partners to bring these opportunities to us, and as opposed to just finding them on the direct side of the business. So if you guys have clients that are in the MDU space, if they're in our networks, especially those on-net and near-net buildings that you get access to, then we can provide a solution that's going to deliver fiber-based symmetrical internet to the residents of those MDUs, but we're also going to provide 24/7 support, and we can light up the common areas in those facilities as well. So what that means is the property owner or manager can pass the cost of that on to the tenants, via whatever means makes sense for that particular property. But we're going to take on ownership of the service delivery and customer support, right? So they can look at it as an enhancement to improve their competitive advantage in the market, or they can look at it as a revenue generating opportunity. But at the end of the day, it's kind of a win-win. That the residents are going to get, superior internet, and that property manager is going to have a more competitive property in the market space, as well as potentially generate some revenue. I know we're going to have questions at the end, so hopefully you guys are making note of things you want to get more information on. And I think with that one, Colin, I'm going to toss it back to you, right? Oh no, one more slide for me. Go ahead and build this one out. Our marketing folks like these animated slides; they drive me crazy. But so we've kind of talked pretty substantially about those four areas that we want to concentrate on, but that doesn't mean that we're not also continuing to offer our business services, right? Our managed service portfolio. So from a security perspective, obviously DDoS mitigation we've talked about, but we continue to offer a Palo Alto based cloud firewall or security solution. That's a full stack solution built on top of Palo Alto virtual infrastructure that we house within our own private data centers. Cloud Wi-Fi, Meraki. If there's an opportunity you guys need to augment with a Wi-Fi solution, we can provide that. And of course, our UCaaS and VoIP solutions are Cisco BroadWorks based. Our ProConnect is our UCaaS solution. So everything from maybe a 2-phone nail technician's office all the way up to a 1,000-seat hospital. We've got customers across the spectrum on that platform. From a network services perspective, SD-WAN, we continue to partner with VMware on their Velo solution. From a WAN perspective, obviously switched Ethernet, MPLS VPN, carrier bread and butter for decades. But we've also invested heavily in DWDM upgrades, so wave services, things like that. We're definitely seeing more of that, especially in that 10 gig plus space. And then Cloud Peer Connect. So back to the data center space, we've partnered with Megaport to offer cloud peering. In specific data centers, we can do that directly, but we can also help solution against, those types of services that may be in third-party data centers. So more to come on that, but keep us in mind if you have customers that need to get to AWS or Azure or Google Cloud or Snowflake. There's who knows how many different cloud providers, but we can help there as well. Touched on the dark fiber and wavelengths. We're not afraid of selling dark fiber, so we can do that. We have even engaged on some construction as a service projects where we're actually building out fiber assets within specific regional areas for customers, and then they're going to own and operate that fiber. So we can entertain those as well. Okay.
Thanks, Rick.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, we are invested in your success. So it starts with myself, your channel manager. Again, you have Rick as additional support for engineering and technical questions. We're happy to join you on a call with the customer. We've had really a lot of success in the past in collaborating and winning good sized deals. And then we also have strategic solutions engineers. So when it comes to advanced services or anything like within SD-WAN or our cloud firewall product, we have strategic solutions engineers that actually work on those projects and help get those implemented. And then service delivery and care, ongoing support, bill reviews. We have our entire partner support team here on the channel side to support you and your customers. And then we also have marketing tools. So within the Partner One portal, there's all kinds of brochures and marketing material available to you. So if anyone needs access to that, feel free to reach out and I can get you set up with a login. And again, more tools and resources for our partners. So lead gen and footprint insights. So we have our on-net, near-net building lists, maps, fiber route maps, and pricing and connect base again will be vetted out here pretty soon. But DIA, broadband, Ethernet wavelengths. Again, we have API integrations to different tools. Just really trying to get more information into your fingertips, so you can pull data as needed. And then again, productivity tools and training. So we have webinars we hold for different products and services, some training as well, and then partner support guide. And then awareness and building outreach. So we have our quarterly incentives, different events and sponsorships and MDF opportunities. Happy to partner again with Claris and TDM. And then social media and syndicated content, and then also co-branded materials. So if you need any marketing where we want to co-brand, we're happy to help you with that as well. And with that, we'll just dive into any questions that you have. Appreciate your time. And
Okay, our first question is regarding MDU. Is this new for Consolidated or just new through the channel?
Yeah, obviously the MDU offering, at its core is not new. I mean, we operate as an ILEC in multiple markets across the country, those super regional markets in particular. So obviously we've been lighting up MDUs for a long time. What's new is we've created it and productized it so that it can be offered through the channel, and then you guys are going to get paid on that, just like you get paid for anything else. So that's the new part. We've also kind of buttoned it up, right? So it's more of a package offering with the support and the way we deploy it, the inside wiring we can provide. So yeah, that's the new part.